What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Stay Tuned. You can see today we have kind of a full house because we're going to be, well, talking about something that is very, very important. So I will just take everybody right around in a circle real quick. To my left, I'll let you introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Tom.
I think everybody knows Tom. And of course, right down here below me, we got the infamous one. Oh, hang on. I got something wrong.
Hello, each other. What's happening?
That was my fault. Sorry. All right, Joe. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Joe from the Half Hour Power.
And then, of course, to the bottom left, we have the other half of the half hour power. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, I'm Jesse.
Yes. So as you can see, full house tonight. So if you missed it last night, we got to co-host with the host from the half hour power, Joe and Jesse, and we talked about the Doom movie. I guess we can go around the room real quick. I thought the movie was terrible, but I had a lot of fun. Tom,
Yes, that movie is awful. Awful.
Joe,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Bad movie.
and Jesse.
It's terrible. It's like COVID.
Yes, the movie was bad. But anyways, so now we get to talk about something that I think is good, which is the Doom video game. Actually, video games. There's not just one. My first time ever playing Doom, I want to say it was around 93 or 94, and it was at my own house, and my grandpa had it on the computer, and I remember him loading up MS-DOS, typing in all that C double dot backslash doom.exe or whatever it used to be, and then just seeing this nice little script running, and then all of a sudden the game's playing, and it was the coolest thing ever. Joe, right below me, man, what was your first Doom memory?
I remember hearing people talk about this game when I was in college, and the more they talked about it, the more I wanted to play it. And I finally got to play it. But the first time I played it was on the PlayStation 1.
Ah,
I played it on
nice.
the computer later on.
Nice. Yeah, my first one was on the computer. Jesse, what about you? What was your first experience with the Doom video games?
I don't know if you guys remember when Radio Shacks were in malls. They always had that little
Yep.
desk up front. They had the computer on it. And
Yep.
They would play. They'd have like. I think the first one they ever had on there was Wolfenstein, but they had Doom on there as well. And I always remembered that. I never knew what the name of the game was. I was referred to as one of those Radio Shack games.
The one with the guns.
No.
That leaves you, Tom. What about you? What was your first experience with the Doom games?
So we had, growing up on the computer, we had some disc with a whole bunch of, some demo disc of all sorts of different types
Yep.
of games. And it had a version of Doom on there that was just like the first level, and I did not know what I was doing. At that time, I was playing Super Mario Brothers and having difficulty with that. So to play Doom and actually try and kill things and seeing scary monsters was kind of
A little rough. A little rough for you.
little rough. As we've discussed every time, I am not good with horror kind of stuff. So as a child, that game scared me.
So Doom came out in December 10th, 1993. It was I believe it was called. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Was it called peer-to-peer? Like where you could go and buy like a demo disc and then you could like pay money and then it gives you the rest of the levels. I can't remember exactly what it's called because we owned the game outright. My grandpa bought it. I'm not sure. Besides Tom, if anybody played just the demos.
Yeah, there was like a shareware. I think they called it.
Yeah,
It was
shareware.
a way of getting, getting the game to a bunch of different people that didn't actually own the game. That was one way to do it.
Yeah, because id's first trek out into the game world, as far as like first-person shooter goes, was Wolfenstein 3D. But that was not the first Wolfenstein game. It was developed by a single developer. I can't remember what it was now. I was watching a YouTube channel called The Gaming Historian, and he went like in depth with like the world of Wolfenstein from, I believe it was 1981 or 82 with the first one, up until the recent 2014 Wolfenstein: The New Order on the Xbox One, PS4, and all the systems. But then he went into talking about how id got the rights to Wolfenstein because some lady bought the rights after it tanked and it went under, and then they bought the rights from her for like a couple $100, and then they released the Wolfenstein games, and then they wanted to do something different, so they created the Doom engine, and such it is now. Doom is alive, and well, it's kind of well. Doom 4 is in production, but
Yeah, it's been in that way for a long time.
yeah. So Tom, what all Doom games have you played? Because I know you're probably the only one that doesn't play them just because you like them. You played them because I think I made you play them.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Doom 1. I played an hour or two of Doom 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will not play Doom 3 because I'm a big fraidy cat. So I've not played Doom 3. So pretty much just those two. Just the first two Doom games.
Yep. Doom 1 and Doom 2. You can't go wrong there, though. Jesse, what about you? Have you played all of them or just a few of them?
I played all of them except for the 2012 BFG edition. That's the only one I have not played, but I figure that's just the same Doom 3 game with extra bells and whistles thrown in.
Yeah, it's better graphics, better resolution, pretty much. Joe, what about you?
Played them all.
That's right. There you go.
Played 'em all. There's nothing funner to me than killing demons with a shotgun and a chainsaw.
There you go. I would have to completely agree with you, Joe. I've played every single one. I've owned Doom 1, Doom 2 when I was a kid. Then there was like, what is it, Final Doom, Doom 64, Doom on the PlayStation. What else was there? Then Doom 3 on the original Xbox. Then I bought Doom 3 on PC, like some big Steam sale. Like I keep talking about Steam. If you don't, yeah, if you don't have Steam, you should have Steam because I bought Doom 1, 2, and 3 for like, and Final Doom for like $4 or $5, and then I upgraded to the BFG edition for like an extra $10 or $15, just for that little bit of extra resolution and the Resurrection of Evil expansion. But I am always blown away by Doom. Like, even today, like, yes, the graphics are old, yes, they're not great, but there's just something about that nostalgia feel when I play Doom that just takes me back to my childhood, makes me so happy. And, you know, kids today, they don't understand it, but if they play their Call of Duty or Battlefield today, and then 20 years from now they pop in Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2, they're going to have that going back to them. So, I mean, what about, I know, Joe, you played these, you said, like, back when you were in college, so do you get that same feeling every time you play these games? Do you still love them to death, or have they kind of lost their muster with you?
They haven't lost anything for me. I can't count the amount of times I played Doom and Doom 2. I can't. I'll just go back and play it every time. You know, you adjust the number of monsters that are there. That makes it a little more challenging. You know, I want to find all the secrets. Can I find all the secrets again? Can I find all the items this time? How do I get to that room? I know I can make it there. You know, I enjoy doing things like that and killing demons with a chainsaw and shotgun.
Yes, I could not have said it better. Always the shotgun. I mean, shotgun was number 3. The chain gun was number 4, which eventually turned into like an assault rifle in Doom 3. But trusty number 3, that's what I always called it, the shotgun. That was always my go-to weapon. So Jesse, what about you? Do you still get those nostalgia flashbacks whenever you play Doom, or is it something that you've that you kind of don't play anymore because it doesn't have that factor with you anymore?
I'm always kind of when it comes to storyline games, I'm one and done. Once I see what the story is, I kind of really don't go back unless it's a multiplayer and just going around shooting my friends in the face and stuff like that. But I do believe Joe still plays Doom when he closes his eyes.
Yes, I think you're right. Wow, I just don't even know where to go from here. Like, Doom is just, it's Doom. I mean, I'm not sure what else we can really say about it. I mean, Doom 1...
How about this, Tim? Did you play the Doom on the Super Nintendo?
Hang on one second.
Doom on the Super Nintendo sounds like it would be just an absolute train wreck of a game. Like,
You know,
didn't it have
I knew
issues
it was
where
on
they
there.
couldn't load
Now,
the sound or something like that? Like, it just wasn't
I
powerful
kept
enough.
thinking that it was on there, and I found it. And before I didn't look at anything about the gameplay or anything about it. in my head, I thought, well, it's probably a side scroller. That'd be cool. A Doom side scroller. That'd be great. So
Yeah, that'd be
I got the game and played it. Like, oh, it's Doom, and it plays great. All right.
Really? Huh. I never would
Yeah,
have thought
so
Doom on Super Nintendo.
I bought that and played
So,
that also.
So I'm
Did
back.
you ever do that, Tim?
You guys can't see it because I have my camera turned off, so I can use it for the stream. But I am holding up my Doom Super Nintendo cartridge right now.
I'm seeing it. That's awesome.
This is not my original. This is not my original. I do still have my. No, it's not my original Super Nintendo either. So I have repurchased everything. But I walked into it was a place called like 3D Games in the Greenville Park Mall. I want to say it was like my wife just left, but I want to say it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I walked in. I'm like, oh cool, they got Super Nintendo and Nintendo games. And I looked down the case and I'm like, is that Doom? And he's like, yes. I'm like, how much is it? He's like $25. I'm like, I'll take it. I didn't even think twice. I probably overpaid by like a lot, but I was like, I want to own this again. I put it in. I was like, oh my god, this looks so terrible. I remember it looking so good when I was a kid, though. But yes, I still have Doom on the Super Nintendo. Yeah. Yes.
Too.
But the sound on it still is amazing for Super Nintendo. But the video on the... Did you ever play the Sega 32X version? Anybody besides me?
No, I never
Who
did.
had a 32X?
My stepbrother did, and he had Doom.
Alright.
The visuals looked great, but the sound was awful. The sound sounded like it was 8-bit Nintendo Doom sound. But the visuals looked like you were playing it like on a PC when it first came out. So it was like, why can I not have the sound of the Super Nintendo because of the FX chip with the video of the 32X with 32 bits or whatever they called it? But Doom has pretty much been on every system ever. The Xbox 360, I don't know about the PS3, but the Xbox 360 has Doom 1 and 2 for sale again.
Yep.
I owned it on that.
I played them on my iPhone.
They have, yeah, I think it's Doom.
Wasn't the best experience, but I did play those games on my iPhone.
Yeah, they had a Doom Resurrection. So then after Doom 1, Doom 2 came out in '94, and this is pretty much like the best showing of a sequel, because all it pretty much was what made Doom 1 so great. Okay, let's do that, and then just add some really good stuff with some awesome levels onto it, and just keep going.
Double barrel shotgun.
Yes, with a double-barreled shotgun, so I get to press 3 twice if I want the good old single-barrel shotgun. Doom 2 is my personal favorite. I've been replaying through this a lot the past like 2 weeks just to get ready for this show, and the good thing is it's been so long. I feel like I'm replaying the game for the first time. When's the last time you played Doom 2, Joe?
2 weeks ago.
There you go. There you go. What is that your favorite one, or is the original Doom still your favorite? Or is Doom 3?
You know, it's hard to rate the original Doom against Doom 3, really.
Yeah. I feel like they're two completely different games.
It's so different. Doom 3 is so different, but it's still, at its core, it's still Doom.
Yep.
So, for me, I have to separate those. Just because they're just so different. We talked about this last night. There's more of a story to Doom 3
Yeah, then there is Doom 1 and
than
Doom
there
2
is
combined.
to Doom 1 and 2.
Yep. Like
It's still a simple story, but so
Yep.
I can't. I enjoy them all. Resurrection of Evil. I played that. I played them all. I enjoyed them all. I can't really say which one's my favorite, but if I have to for this show, I'll have to say the first Doom is,
There you go.
because that's the first one I played, and I still go back and play that. Probably as much as I go back and play Doom 2.
Yep. I think I like Doom 2 just because I think that was the first introduction of the Cyber Demon, and I think the Spider Monster was in Doom 1 though. I think that was the final boss in episode, what was it, 4 or 5, and then of course Doom, Final Doom had like the something of Sin. I can't remember what it's called now, as the final boss. Jesse, what about you? When's the last time you played Doom 2?
Last time I played Doom 2 must be years ago.
Wow.
Quite a while ago, but I have to go with Doom as the original is my favorite as well. I think Doom's a game that you don't really need a strong story to play. It's nice to have, and I
Yeah.
prefer strong. But I mean, all you're gonna do after that story's done is go down and shooting demons. That's all you need.
Yep, simplistic and to the point. and and Tom, what about you, man?
I don't know really. Like I've played the Doom games quite a little bit, but not quite as much as anything else.
Mhm.
So I guess I've put more time into Doom 2. So I guess I'll say that Doom 2 is my favorite of them. But
You never played Doom 3 though.
I didn't really grow up playing them, so I've only played them more recently. So they're very similar, in most regards. So to me, they're kind of indistinguishable. But I guess Doom 2 because I really like double barrel shotguns.
Yes, yes. So Doom 3, I've been replaying that as well, and that one's tough even today. I never realized this when I was a kid playing it or a teenager, is that whenever you get hit by an enemy, there is so much kick. The camera becomes distorted. It's really hard to make out what's going on. You have flashlight power. It's a really dark game, even with like the brightness turned all the way up. And it is probably the best example of like a horror-esque shooter in my personal opinion. What about Tom? You haven't played it. You don't count.
No, I don't.
What about you?
I'll take that.
What about you, Joe? What do you think about Doom 3 as it's on its own, I guess?
Oh, I love it on its own. Like I said, Doom 3 is why I finally bought an Xbox so I could play Doom 3 because I didn't have a computer at the time that was going to be able to run it. And, I wanted to get an Xbox anyway, and the price was down enough. Well, it's time to get it. There's a game on it I really, really want to play. A lot of people bought it for Halo. I bought it for Doom 3.
That's a great reason to buy an Xbox. What about you, Jesse?
I enjoy Doom 3. Like I said, I enjoy a good story in a game, and it does have the best storyline for any of the Doom series. I'm glad that they changed the sound effects of him grunting every 5 minutes whenever he got hit. If you're playing that game at night at your house and your family hears that, they don't think you're playing video games.
I'm just gonna pause for a second after that one. Okay, so then okay. Doom. So then after Doom 3, they had the expansion of Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil. I haven't actually finished this one yet. I don't know why. I don't have a good enough reason. I feel terrible for not actually ever finishing it yet. I do have it though because I got the nice BFG edition. But Joe, have you finished the Resurrection of Evil?
I have, yes.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it too. I mean, they have that edition of what do they call it? The levitator gun?
I think so.
What is that gun called? That's where you can pick stuff up and throw it with a gun.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
You catch the fireballs or plasma balls, whatever it is the imps are throwing at you. I was just calling fireballs.
Yeah, I call 'em fire.
Back at 'em, you can catch stuff. Hell Knights are throwing at you. That's pretty cool. Also, you have that other artifact. You played it far enough to get the artifact, right?
Yes, I have.
That one that slows down time and all that. You can
Yep.
run around.
Yep, I have played
Now,
that far.
You probably know this, but they were gonna have that levitator gun in Doom 3, but they didn't finish it in time or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's something they had to cut short just so they can get the game out. Because I mean they're still on timelines whenever they create these games to make sure that they're making money back. Because I mean they're still a business; they have to make money, but at least they're not pushing them out like Call of Duty every single year. But yeah, Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil came out in 2005, just 1 year after Doom 3. So I did not get to play this when it first came out like I did Doom because I had it on the Xbox. And I think they released it as its own standalone game, didn't they?
Yeah.
On the original Xbox. But this was also the time that I converted over from the Xbox to the Xbox 360. So I no longer had my Xbox and I no longer looked for Xbox games. So I think this might be one of the reasons. But I do have the BFG edition, so I do get to play Resurrection of Evil at some point. Jesse, have you played Resurrection of Evil?
I have not played Resurrection of Evil. I don't believe. Since this year, you guys talk about doesn't spark any kind of memory for me. Or any. Yeah, so that's what I think that's when I played. Is that a part of the main series, or is that one of their little spin-offs?
It's a spin-off of Doom 3 itself. It's just like an expansion, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played the expansion pack for that.
No, it's good. It looks good. It starts off really strong, really well. I think it's just one of those games when I purchased it that it was a $5 Steam sale, and I just haven't gotten back to it yet. But it's great. So Tom.
It's got a really funny opening, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, they're there, and there's he sees that artifact. It's like, don't touch that. Don't touch. And he touches it.
Yep. Oh, wrong
He
one.
touches it and becomes with that demon thing.
Yep.
Because it was in Doom 3, it was sort of like a good artifact, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, it's like the evil artifact,
Yep.
for lack of a better term for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember I can't remember they said something that cracked me up in the opening scene. I can't remember what it is now though. But yeah, so Tom, the guy that has not played Doom 3, are you ever going to go back and play Doom 3?
I don't know. Like, it might be something kind of fun to try if I can buy it on Steam for, $2 or something like that. But the only experience I've ever had with Doom 3 is they had an on-rail shooter on the iPhone for a little bit, and I played that a little bit, so that didn't scare me. So we'll see. But yeah, really, I don't have any interest to go into Doom 3. I'm kind of looking forward to see what they're doing with Doom 4, since they announced that, and they announced a beta if you bought Wolfenstein, which I did, but that was a year and a half ago. So
Yeah, still holding on to it.
So I don't know if I'll ever go back, but I think I might end up, trying out Doom 4 when it comes out.
Yeah, so Doom 4 it's not even called Doom 4, it's just called Doom.
Doom.
They
It's
released,
off the movie,
no it's not.
then I'll play it.
They released a teaser that I have playing right now at QuakeCon 2014, and I guess they showed more footage to the people that were actually there, because QuakeCon's it's a really small convention. I mean, it's like I think it's like it's not E3 or Gen Con, PAX. It's none of that stuff. So it's a lot less than 1,000 people probably that they showed extra footage to. And I have looked online everywhere. I cannot find anything. Everybody's keeping their mouth shut, which is great.
QuakeCon's huge.
Is it?
QuakeCon's really big, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's it's kind of funny that they call it QuakeCon since we haven't had a Quake game in forever. But it's actually pretty big. It's not. I mean, it's not on the size of those cons that you're talking about. But
Yeah.
I mean, there are tens of thousands of people that go to that one.
Well,
sure.
people need to release some information.
Right.
That's
You'd
all I'm
think
saying.
that somebody there would have had their cell phone out and done something.
Yeah.
But nothing.
So, Joe? What are you most looking for from Doom 4? If it comes out Xbox One, PS4, PC only, are you gonna do you have a PC good enough to run it, or are you gonna possibly purchase a new system, upgrade your PC?
I could probably run it on my PC that I have now, but if it comes out and it's going to Xbox One, I'll probably go get an Xbox One so I can play it on that.
That's
I don't know,
awesome.
I'm more of a console gamer, really.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I play a few things on the computer, but not that much.
Yep. What about you, Jesse?
Well, I would love to buy an Xbox One to play Doom 4, but I'd have to buy a whole new TV.
You have a
That's right with you. I'd have to buy a new TV too.
huge investment on your guys'
It's an
end, then.
expensive purchase for
Yeah.
Doom
Does,
And you know what? I would do it for Doom 4.
is Doom 4 worth $1,500 to you guys at this
Yeah.
point?
4. Well, that's all that.
Yes. Tom, you just have to buy the game, like me.
Yeah.
we just gotta buy the game.
Just gotta buy the game and then in my pants while I'm playing it.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So,
Try it out.
I guess we can speculate a little bit. Do you think this is going to be a direct sequel to Doom 3? Is it going to be a whole new thing? Like, what do you think in there, Jesse? Any thoughts or concerns about it?
I read that they're doing a whole entire new series that's supposed to be a reboot of Doom, which I swear to God, that's the worst word in the English language right now is reboot.
Yeah,
Everything
we
is
could
a reboot.
reboot or remake,
We should reboot
redoing
Spider-Man again.
for the
Oh wait, we are.
As long as they're still calling Doom Guy, I'm cool with it.
Doom. Yeah, don't give him a name. Doom guy. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a new thing. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Doom, so it's not like it really,
Affects you?
either way, it doesn't really affect me. But it seems like a lot of the, looking back on Doom 3, people either really like that game or they really, really hate it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just go with a whole new thing just to try and appease everybody.
Yep. I could agree with that. And on to you, Joe.
You know what? All I need is to hear they're going to make Doom 4, and I'm good.
You know what? I agree with Joe. I agree with Joe entirely. Just give me a shotgun.
Doom.
Same company's making it, I'm good.
Give me a
Doom
shotgun.
the game?
No. Don't do that.
We sure?
Don't do that.
Okay.
Just give me a shotgun. Give me demons to kill. I'm happy.
Yep.
That's all I need. I'm happy at that point. So Doom 4, they haven't really released any footage unless like id and Bethesda is just keeping it under their hat, and they're just gonna like push out all this stuff at E3 this year and then push it out for this holiday season. But I think it's gonna be 2016.
Yeah, it's got to be, and they'll announce it at E3 for sure.
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
they've
it's been a
working on
year.
it Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been working on it for too long. I mean, they had to they entirely scrapped what they were working on before for Doom 4, and then came back with whatever they showed at QuakeCon last year. So
Yeah.
at this point, they need to show something, or else this is turning into Duke Nukem Forever.
I
which
don't
is
know.
Not the comparison you want to make.
Yeah.
But if it makes you react like that, Tim, then I'm going to say it a lot.
Yeah, let's not. So have you guys, Joe? You did play Duke Nukem back in the day, right? Duke Nukem 3D specifically, I guess. Yeah. So did you like Duke Nukem 3D?
Yeah, it was alright. It was a pretty fun game.
Did you play Duke Nukem Forever?
No.
Don't. Just don't do it.
All I heard, so I just didn't even try.
Just don't even do it. What about you, Jesse? Have you played Duke Nukem Forever?
I've never played Duke Nukem Forever, but then again, I'm not the biggest fan of Duke Nukem either. He's just
Yeah.
basically Bruce Campbell, without Evil Dead, so.
Yeah, he really is. But it was Duke Nukem Forever. The problem with that is that they tried to use that same toilet humor, like recycled from the '90s, and it just didn't work for like the 2000. What was it? 2011, 2000 it came out, and it did not work, and it was terrible. So, as
It was so bad.
as long, but I think the worst part about that is that game was in development hell for like 10 to 15 plus years, recycled, rebooted, redone 1,000 times. And Doom 4 it's been in development for a while as Doom, but I'm not too worried. Just by seeing the trailer, seeing that Cyber Demon, he looks awesome.
Yeah. And id and Bethesda have tons of money, so
Yeah.
they'll make a game that is going to be of a certain level of quality that Duke Nukem Forever could never have hoped to achieve.
Yep.
Isn't it owned by another company now, though? Aren't they owned by, like, ZeniMax or something like that now, though?
Yeah, ZeniMax. Yep.
I don't follow the news that well.
I just follow them because they make Fallout. So
Yeah.
if Bethesda can come out and talk about Doom and Fallout 4, Doom 4, Fallout 4 at E3, that would be pretty awesome.
You'd be happy.
Oh yes.
You'd be really happy. So I guess we can close off on Doom, and we can kind of do a prequel for next week. I know that you guys have also played this game, but final thoughts on Doom. Amazing series. If you haven't played it, you need to play it, Tom. Joe, go ahead. What about you? Final thoughts on Doom?
Yeah. If you haven't played Doom, you should play Doom.
It's great. It's great.
I love Doom. You will too.
Jesse?
I think Doom is a great game, and I kind of wonder if Doom had Kirby in it, would Tom play it?
Yes, I would. I totally would.
He just turned into a rock. Just turn inhale all the imps.
Turn into a rock. Don't worry about it.
So, yeah, Tom, go ahead. What about you? Last words on Doom? You haven't played it that
Now that I
much,
think
but
about it, my favorite Doom game is Chex Quest. Anyone played Chex Quest?
no.
Do you know what Chex Quest
No. What is that?
So, Chex Quest is a Doom clone that was packaged in boxes of Chex cereal. And growing up, I always ate Chex cereal. I love Chex. So I played this game that came in a box, and instead of fighting enemies and being the Doom guy, you are a Chex guy. Like, you are a piece of Chex cereal, the square, with arms and legs and a head, and you have this, like, zapper gun where you, like, zap these goo alien enemies. It was pretty awesome. It was more my speed.
So,
for Doom.
speaking of mods, did any of you guys ever play the Energizer Bunny mod for Doom? So,
What is that?
instead of enemies, you literally have the Energizer Bunny from the 90s that's just like banging on his drum, and that's how he shoots. He looks at you and he shoots, and if you kill him, as he dies, there's a sound that comes on that goes, "Still going." No, I don't remember how the mod worked. I remember my grandpa had it on his computer, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And he didn't want me to play it with the guy shooting at me. He wanted me to play it with the bunny all the time, and it was funny. Whenever you mentioned Chex Quest, that made me think of that. Okay. So, Doom. I don't know what else to say about it. It's amazing. It's great. I think everybody's played it. Along with the next game. So there's a game coming out this Tuesday. I know I am really excited. Tom, what about you?
I am incredibly excited for this game.
So, Jesse or Joe, do you know what we're talking about?
Nope.
I think so. You've been talking about it.
What am we talking about, Joe?
Is this the Mortal Kombat?
That's Mortal Kombat, baby. So, you guys are the movie guys. What do you think of the Mortal Kombat? Let's start with the first Mortal Kombat movie. Joe?
Oh, the first Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit yesterday.
Mhm.
I thought they did a good job on that movie.
Yep. What about you, Jesse?
I think it's the best video game to movie adaptation that they've made so far.
Yep.
At least the first one.
Have you guys seen the, I know you probably have, Tom. Have you guys seen the internet movie? Like, I think it's called Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah, the one done by the
Yeah, the
guy.
Cinemas.
Yeah, those are great. I like those a lot. But Mortal Kombat X comes out Tuesday. I have never been so excited for a game like this for quite a while, actually. And I am really excited. I don't even know what else to say. But this is number 10 in the series as far as like the fighting games go. But looking back, just looking at 1, 2, and 3 mostly, they're great. They all added something new every single time. 1 was very basic, and it was actually supposed to be a blood sport video game. Did you guys know that?
No,
It was-
that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a blood sport video game, but they, for some reason, like they couldn't get Jean-Claude's rights to use Jean-Claude, but they did in this. They did in the Street Fighter the movie video game that actually exists. So they ended up using like the digitized actors for Mortal Kombat, and I remember playing Mortal Kombat like at the skating rink, at the local arcades, and every parent hated it, every kid loved it. What was your guys' Joe and Jesse? What were your guys' first memories of the original Mortal Kombat?
Go ahead, Joe.
I actually played the second one first.
There you go. That's not a good. That's not a bad place to start, though.
Yeah, they brought a cabinet in where I work. They would switch out games every so often. I used to work for Marsh. They put that game in, and we'd play it on breaks. We had a good time beating each other up digitally.
Nice. What about you,
Great.
Je-
Yeah, that was fun.
What about you, Jesse?
I remember that the putt putt that used to be on Washington Street. That they had the first one, but you could never get to it because it was like surrounded by people, and you had to wait till. And they would always play like losers would have to leave, and then and they would just get back in line. You never actually get in there to play the damn game, but I just remember just playing other games in here and that shout of "Get over here!"
Scorpion.
Damn.
Yeah, Scorpion's probably the most infamous Mortal Kombat character ever, and he will be forever. What about you, Tom?
So I played this game mainly on the Genesis for those first 3 with my cousin, who is pretty much like an older brother growing up. I always played those, and I didn't really like them as much as Street Fighter, just because with the digitized graphics, it didn't really flow as well as Street Fighter. However, obviously I was attracted to the fact that you could like chop people in half, you could rip people's heads off, things like that. You know, and who didn't want to play that game? But really, I didn't get back into the series until 9, until the one from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was exceptionally good.
Yeah, so we're not going to go too into detail in the entire series, but I know 1, 2, and 3 I played a lot. There was Deadly Alliance, a couple other ones like Shaolin Monks and stuff like that, but Mortal Kombat 9 came out, and it came out with a vengeance, pretty much, and it was amazing. And now we got Mortal Kombat 10. The story is actually supposed to continue for the story mode from Mortal Kombat 9, which makes me pretty excited.
It's crazy that we actually are caring about the story mode for a fighting game.
Mhm.
That isn't just, oh, you should kill this, you should fight this guy and kill him, and then go on to the next guy and kill him. You should
Yeah.
kill the last boss because he's the last boss.
Yep.
Like the story is actually really cool in the last game.
So, did you guys play 9, Joe? Did you ever play Mortal Kombat 9, the most recent one?
I never did.
You're missing out. You're missing out. Jesse, what about you?
I think the last one I played was when they built the DC universe. That was the last one I played.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat versus DC. I never played that one. I don't know why, but I never did.
Probably, I mean, it was a good game. It's just that it kind of, with the whole teen rating and stuff, like, it seems kind of stupid that all the gore
Yeah.
makes the game, but it's kind of one of its selling points. So
It is. I mean, if you see the trailer for Mortal Kombat 10, it's people's heads getting chopped off. Like you said,
was it Ermac's finisher that we saw where he, just,
He
like, literally
pulls
ripping
out
these
their intestines out.
through their mouth? Like, it's just so insane that, you know.
And he's just like
so
twisting their
over-
body. He's like twisting their body as they come out.
Oh, it's so over the top though that it's entertaining. It goes
Yeah.
around to being entertaining.
Yep. No, I am very, very excited. What was that, Jesse?
I said he'll watch the guy get his intestines ripped out of his mouth, but he won't play dude.
Right. Yep.
That's Tom's logic. Tom logic right there, guys. Tom logic.
I guess.
But yes, Mortal Kombat 10, it's coming out on all systems this Tuesday, and next week we'll be talking exclusively about probably Mortal Kombat 9 a little bit to lead up, and then some Mortal Kombat 10. But yeah, any intentions on you guys playing Mortal Kombat 10, Joe?
I'll probably try it out.
There you go. Jesse, you the same?
You guys had me at ripping intestines out of the mouse. I'll try it.
There you go.
What were you saying something, Joe? Sorry, I think I cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, those fighter games I don't really get into that much. I don't really play them by myself. I mean, for me, they're more fun to play with a buddy sitting right next to me.
Yeah. Yep, I think probably next Saturday night after the podcast, I mean, I'm sure me and Tom will sit there for hours, for like 2 or 3 hours just fighting each other and anybody else that wants to join in, and it's going to be awesome. Cuz I'm going to rip Tom's intestines out of his stomach and then show it to him.
Okay, you can't beat me in Smash Brothers, so if you play a game, you can't kill me.
Yeah, you never played me in Injustice, so good for you. Good for you. All right, so once again, Tom, as always, it's a pleasure, and I would like to give a special shout out and thank you to the half-hour power crew, Joe and Jesse. You guys were awesome. Just
Guys.
make sure to check them out at Blog Talk. I will be putting their link up on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, so you guys can check them out. They do a weekly show, sometimes 2 shows a week, mostly on movies and TV shows, and it's awesome. They've been going for what now? About almost 2 years, Joe? Has it been over 2 years yet, or?
We are entering our 3rd year.
Jeez, has it really been that?
Awesome.
I remember your first episode, and it's just, it's been so long, man. It has been so long. It doesn't feel like it, though. It doesn't feel like it at all.
No, it's been great. We've had a great time, and Kim has been a friend of the show and a supporter of the show and what we do. I'd like to thank you for that, Tim.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you. So if you guys didn't know this, Joe is half the reason that we are here doing our podcast weekly for you guys on the Stay Tuned, because it was with Joe pushing me, saying, I was talking about like, oh, I'd like to do things about video games or talk about this because you talk about movies. He's like, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And then I was like, hell, I need to do this. And I was like, well, I need somebody that likes video games as much as I do. And then I met this guy over here, and I was like, we should do this. And he's like, I like podcasts, let's do this. So everything just fell into place.
Yeah,
So yes,
Other reason.
yes. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jesse. And if you didn't know this, Jesse, your name is definitely Jesse the Body on the stream right now. Just so you know. I didn't know what else to call you. So, yeah. Any last words at all on the Doom series, Mortal Kombat? Either one. Tom, you go first. We'll go opposite this way.
Doom is a video game.
I like video.
Mortal Kombat.
I like video games.
I like video games, so I'll play Doom 3 at some point just so I can say I did it, even if I might cry.
Yep. What about you, Jesse?
I've never had a nightmare about Doom, but now I will have nightmares about the Chex Mix guy coming out of a box of cereal.
And Joe,
I do have one question.
what's that?
We're talking about two violent video games, and I've talked with people about this over the years. You think Doom gets a bad rap? I mean, there was that shooting there in Columbine.
Columbine shooting. Yep.
They said, well, they played Doom, so that's why they did it. I mean, you guys ever have a sense of, man, I just played a violent video game, I better go be violent? I never have.
Never.
But what do you guys think about that?
No. Tom, what do you think?
No, I've never had that thought at all. Because normally, I mean, some people it might be different for them, but for me, me going on a rampage in GTA, GTA 5 is a lot different than, me walking outside and going, yeah, I want to hurt somebody or something, something like that. I played video games to unwind and be in a world where, there are different rules, there are different consequences and things like that. So I'm able to differentiate between the two things. So to me, there hasn't ever really been a correlation for that. I enjoy going to a gun range with, my friends and family to shoot guns every now and then, but I really have no intention of ever owning a gun or, using a gun against somebody. So for the most part, I'd like to think I'm not a violent person, so I never really have had that inclination after playing the game.
What about you, Jesse?
I might have had those feelings after playing like the first ET game on Atari, and
Or watching Doom, the movie.
or watching Doom the movie. I mean, usually it's from like a really crappy game that I get feelings of violence, and going out and actually trying to Minecraft. I think watching Minecraft.
No, I mean, I know me and Tom, we play like, Battlefield together. We play Destiny. I've played all the Dooms growing up. I grew up on horror movies. I've never once thought about, I want to do this to somebody else. No, that just comes down to bad parenting. That's mine. So, yeah. So once again, you guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Once again, to my left, I got Tom. Down below me, I got the man himself, Joe Diesel. And to my bottom left corner over there, I got Jesse the Body Hanlon. All right. So thank you guys very much for coming in today. And make sure you guys stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. All right.